Welcome, YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome back as I quickly get Instagram set up here as well. Yes, sir. Finally, we're back live on Instagram. Welcome back, everybody, to another weekly episode of Insider Betting. This week, we have UFC New Orleans, Louisiana, Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 3, the trilogy. Dustin Poirier's final fight in the UFC. The day is 2 days away. It's a very tragic time, but a very exciting time as well. Underdog in Dustin Poirier. So we're going to get into that main event in just a bit. But as you can see, we got Adam back with us this week. It's good to have you back, bro. Welcome back. How have you been? And how excited are you for this UFC 318 card?
Bro, what a card to be back for. I'm pumped to be back. Spent a couple weeks in Cali. Did some traveling with my girl. And we're back, man. We're back for Dustin's last fight. You think it's actually going to be his last fight if he wins?
I personally do. I really do. So. I don't think he would be getting as emotional as he is in his hometown. This is the perfect send-off. I hear rumors that people are like, that true MMA community is like, oh, if he wins this one, Ilia Toporia's next fight for the title. But he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to get KO'd by Ilia Topuria and help his legacy. I think this is a perfect legacy fight for Poirier and Max. It helps both their resumes. I was iffy about this matchup when I first saw it because it's like, do these guys really need to be fighting a third time? But this is the fight that we get. I'm happy about it. At the end of the day, it's going to be a war. I don't see it going to a finish. I think it's going to go all 5 rounds. I think these guys have the mutual respect for each other where they're veterans in the game. They're not going to really be going for the kill. They're going to be kind of just putting on a show, hyping up the crowd. But I'll get into my breakdown on that one in a little bit. To start off, where do you want to start off on this one? We can take a little quick peek at the prelims just because I am a little bit frustrated with some of the matchups on the main card. Look more like prelim fights, and some of the prelims fights look like main card fights. I could present my screen here.
Yeah, do it.
Here we are. Could you see this?
Yes, sir. But let's switch to this, and now we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So let me complain for a quick second. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen, 10th ranked and 11th ranked middleweight with real beef. With real beef, there's a lot of lure to this fight, and it's not even the feature fight on the prelims, which is just mind-boggling to me. This is going to be a hell of a fight. My quick little breakdown on this one is Marvin Vettori is a decision guy. He doesn't get knockouts. He doesn't get finishes. He's kind of just going to hit you. While Brendan Allen is more versatile. He's going to mix up the leg kicks. He's going to mix up a lot more in his game and take this to a decision and probably win a decision, a close decision. I think Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. These are two really explosive fire bantamweights, man. Really exciting fight. Way more exciting than Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. But that's besides the point. I do think this is a main card fight. This could even be a co-main or a main event on a fight night. So if you're a real MMA fan, you're really excited for this fight. I'm really excited for this fight. Kind of bummer to see it just on the prelims here, but excited for both of these two fights.
Yeah, I agree. Is Vinicius on a big? No, he's not on a big knockout streak. He was at one point, and now he's gone to decision twice.
But
probably
he's so
why
excited.
They put him on the feature prelim. Yeah, both of those two fights you mentioned should be on the main card, and then the opening 2 fights on the main card should be prelims, probably.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it's like I get it because they got like Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. I understand why they want to have Pitbull on the main card because he's obviously a champion coming from Bellator. He might even have something in his contract that says he's got to be on the main card. Who knows?
True.
But with the way his last fight went, it was so boring, bro. Like he just didn't look like he was there. We'll break that down in a sec, but
yeah, this
card's getting a lot of heat to be on the main card.
Yeah, this card's getting a lot of heat because at first glance, you look at the main card and you're like, what is this? Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov co-main event on a pay-per-view card? Kind of crazy. Yeah. But you look into the prelims, Marvin Vettori, Brendan Allen. There's some bangers on this card.
No, there definitely are. Yeah, I don't really get it, but it's okay. get people watching early, right?
Exactly.
I'll share my opinion so we don't have to go back to the other two.
Perfect.
Yeah, but opening up the main card, we got Michael Johnson taking on Zell Huber. I'm surprised they put this on the main card. Obviously, Michael Johnson, UFC vet, been in the game for a very, very long time. I was surprised that he's on a 2-5 win streak. And
Let's
he's
go.
3-5. So I guess that's why he's on the main card. You could have easily put this on the as like the featured prelim. It would have made sense for that because Zell Huber is like one of their up and coming prospects coming off of a loss. I actually didn't realize it felt like Zell Huber's taking a long layoff because last time he fought was UFC 306, which is like somewhat long, but not that bad. But UFC 306 feels like so long ago. Like that just happened in September.
Yeah, this is 318, so it's been a while.
Yeah, so his last fight was a banger though against Esteban Ribovic. Super entertaining fight. He was, I think, a 2-1 favorite going into that fight, and it was just a banger. Like he showed how tough he was there. He took a couple what looked like KO shots, but he survived them, and then the fight went to decision. And yeah, Michael Johnson, UFC vet, and he's on a 2-fight win streak, and he's got KO power, but he's also 39. So I really do feel like Zell Huber is just better all around. He's rangier. He keeps his distance. He's a great striker. He's got a really, really good takedown defense because he keeps that distance. And I just feel like in this type of fight, it's his fight to lose. He's 26. They got a 13-year age gap. If Zell Huber loses, it's probably because he didn't follow the game plan or he's getting fraud checked, but he should win. He's a 5-1 favorite for a reason.
That's where all the money is. Everyone's on Daniel Zell Huber, and you brought up some good points. I agree with you. He's probably is more versatile. Like his bag is more cleaner than Michael Johnson's MMA bag. But let's not count out Michael Johnson. Daniel Zell Huber's last fight was against Francisco Padro at lightweight. He's going up to fight at welterweight now on this card, but he didn't look great against Francisco Padro. It went to a decision. Padro's a small guy. He was able to land 90 strikes. He threw 250 strikes against this guy, against Daniel Zell Huber. I think Michael Johnson's going to land harder strikes. I think he could put on 90 strikes in 15 minutes as well. I think Johnson has a chance to knock him out. I really do. I think he's going to be the one engaging, the one applying the pressure, the one taking risks. It depends on what kind of game plan we see from Daniel Zell Huber, but if he just wants to stand and bang with Michael Johnson, this is going to be a recipe for disaster. I do believe in Michael Johnson. He's talking nice in his media leading up to this fight. He doesn't like the trash talk from Daniel Zell Huber. He doesn't like that he's a big underdog. He doesn't understand where all of this hype and talk from Daniel is coming from, and he is ready to be that guy who fraud checks him in this matchup, in the pay-per-view, to start off the main card. I believe in Michael Johnson. I do believe it's worth putting some pretty pennies on, as big as an underdog as he is. Forget about the age. Leave it. Don't even look at it. The guy has a lot of heart. He's been a veteran. He's coming off some knockouts. I believe. He believes. Let's see this one. I'm excited for it.
It's a tough take, bro. It's a tough take. I don't know. You said one thing wrong. I think you just meant something else. Zell Huber's last win was against Francisco Prado, but his last fight was against Esteban Ribovic.
His last win.
Yeah. But Zell Huber, like this kind of feels like Zell Huber's last fight against Ribovic, except Ribovic is a lot younger than Michael Johnson. There's two stockier, a little bit shorter guys who are going to be putting on the pressure. And Zell Huber handled it pretty well against Ribovic. Yes, he still lost, but he got hit a bunch, and he was able to survive those big knockout shots. So I think Michael Johnson's going to land. I don't think he's going to get the knockout, and I just think that Zell Huber's going to learn from what he did in his last fight and just expand on it. In his last fight, he landed 121 times as well, right? Obviously, the other guy's putting more pressure, so he got hit 156. But yeah, it'll be an interesting fight. But no, I feel like I gotta go Zell Huber. Risky bet going with Michael Johnson here.
We're seeing kind of these older fighters get counted out and become these huge underdogs, and then they win by knockout. Give me Michael Johnson here by knockout, 3rd round, banger fight. It's going to be fireworks regardless. It's going to be explosive, a lot of punches thrown, not much ground control or anything like that. I'm excited. Happy to see that we're on different sides of this one. I think we're going to be on different sides of a lot of these main card picks, to be honest.
If you pick Michael Johnson, I feel like we're going to be on different sides of all of these.
Let's go.
Next up, where did my mouse go? There we go. Dan Ige taking on Patricio Pitbull. Like I said, when we were kind of chatting at the beginning of this, Pitbull is coming off of a bit of a weird fight against Yair Rodriguez, where Yair just looked a lot better than him. Didn't look like Pitbull had a chance, in my opinion. And when I saw Pitbull get announced to fight in the UFC, I felt like the jump to Yair was pretty nuts. And when you look at his build and how he fights, I actually did like the Dan Ige fight, and I thought it would make more sense than going up against Yair. Mm-hmm. And so I like that this fight's happening. But again, we got a 38-year-old guy. Not that Dan Ige is much younger, but Dan Ige he's tough, he's durable, and he's proven that he's willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. He's had a few losses in his last 5. He's only got 2 wins, and he's lost. But the people he's losing against are Leron Murphy, Diego Lopez, and Bryce Mitchell, who were all at the time up and coming prospects who you would expect him to lose to. He's beaten Sean Woodson, Andre Feely. But I don't know. When I saw this fight announced, I was like, oh, Dan Ige is going to be the underdog. I'm going to go on Dan Ige. I think he's going to win because I just feel like he just wins these weird fights for some reason, you know? But now that I see he's a 2-1 favorite, I'm like, ooh, I don't know how comfortable I feel. I feel like they're setting up an underdog win here. I'm still picking Dan Ige because I still think he's going to get it done. I just don't love that he's such a big favorite against Pitbull because he is a great opponent. He's one of the best champions Bellator has ever had. But maybe it'll just keep proving that UFC is levels above Bellator. I don't know.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Patricio Pitbull, 2-division Bellator champ. You're going against him, one of the GOATs, one of the Bellator GOATs? No, I'm just kidding. The guy is average everywhere. He's good at takedown defense. He's good at submissions. He's good at striking. He's good at kicking. But he's good enough to where he could win against somebody in Bellator. But if he's going for a submission against Dan Ige, he's not going to lock it in. If he goes for a takedown against Dan Ige, he'll get right back up on his feet. His kicks won't hurt him. His punches will barely hurt him. Dan Ige is stronger and more well-rounded everywhere, I believe. Patricio Pitbull is old. He's washed. He needs to retire. He needs to stop fighting in the UFC. This is going to be the one that sells everybody on this take because he is going to look levels below Dan Ige, who is 11th ranked in the division right now. So if he looks like this, what I think he will look like, complete trash against Dan Ige, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes one more fight and just stops fighting, and he'll probably lose it. I don't like him. He's not marketable. He's not an exciting fighter. He's going to try and grapple. It's not going to work. His punches won't hurt Dan Ige. Dan Ige is going to piece him up, and he's going to get the knockout here. I'm confident in that Dan Ige knockout pick. His hands are heavy, bro. We saw what he did to Sean Woodson. You could say controversial. I was on Sean Woodson for that matchup, but he is legit. We count him out. I've counted him out too many times. Look how he performed against Diego Lopez. He's a warrior, man. He is a warrior. Yeah. He should win this fight. He's going to win this fight. He's going to make it look easy. Dan Ige, he's a favorite for a reason. Hammer the knockout.
Yeah. If Pitbull puts on the same performance as he did against Yair Rodriguez, in that fight, they each had a takedown, and Pitbull had 17 strikes while Yair Rodriguez had 70. If it's anything like that, I don't even think he gets a third fight in the UFC. I think the UFC is just going to cut him, bro. Like, they're going to be like, we're just not worth keeping you here.
If he gets knocked out within the first 2 rounds,
out.
He's goner. Yeah. He's a goner.
Yeah. All right. I was worried for this one, bro. After that Michael Johnson pick, I was like, man, maybe you're going with all the oldies.
I was trying
we're on
to
the same side
finesse
here.
you at the start of my pick, but yeah, Patricio Pitbull is not him, bro. Just because he did what he was able to do at Bellator does not mean he'll be able to replicate that same skill set in UFC. Those guys are literally JV compared to varsity right now, and he's a JV player trying to play at varsity, and he's just not making the team, bro.
JV's crazy. Kevin Holland taking on D-Rod. Also a fight that doesn't make any sense to me.
My two favorite fighters in the UFC. I'm so happy they're this high up on the card. Oh my God, they deserve it.
This is crazy, bro. This might be like the one that needs to be on the prelims. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
He's not even ranked. It's hilarious.
Yeah, bro. And he just did, like, his last two are Santiago Ponzinibbio and Alex Morono, like two guys on the verge of retirement. Like, not like Kevin Holland's fought anyone much better, but like at least Kevin Holland's younger. I don't know, like he's still
Kevin Holland
gas.
Has fought JDM. He's fought Hamzat. He's fought these
No,
guys.
I know. I'm talking about recent fights though. But what's it called? With Kevin Holland, he says it all the time. He wants to stay active and he wants to feed the fam and he wants to put on entertaining fights. Like that's all he cares about. And he's fought. This is his 5th fight in the last year, bro. And in like the last 12 months. And this is his 4th fight in 2025. Isn't that nuts?
It is nuts.
That's crazy, bro. So yeah, anyway, he's just fighting to fight. He doesn't care about going up to win a belt, like clearly taking on a fight against D-Rod. I think Kevin Holland wins. Honestly, it could go to I just don't see D-Rod getting knocked out. Probably goes to decision or maybe submission. I could see a Kevin Holland submission, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like such a weird fight for you to make. I don't know why they're doing this. Like it's like almost like they're trying to give D-Rod one final chance because he's on a 2-fight win streak. But who cares, bro?
Yeah, Kevin Holland.
Luna.
You're probably right on that submission play. Hey, Luna. You're probably right on that submission play, to be honest. At any time in this fight, Kevin Holland could probably take him down and submit him. Daniel Rodriguez, this is like a street hood fight of hood fights in the UFC. Like these guys love to just brawl and stand up and throw haymakers. But as you said, Daniel Rodriguez, he's getting older. Kevin Holland is kind of on this resurgence in his career right now. He's making smarter moves. He's staying active. He's being smarter in his fights. I think a submission is a great play here, but I do see this one going to this decision as well. And just being a banger fight. They're both going to be hyping up the crowd. Daniel might hit him, rock him, and he's not going to follow up on it. Kevin Holland might hurt him, rock him, not follow up on it, hype up the crowd. It's going to be one of those. Expect some trash talking in the ring. It's going to be funny, but Kevin Holland somehow always gets hit in his fights too. Like he got hit by Gunnar Nelson, and I was scared like Gunnar Nelson was almost about to knock him out at one point in that fight. And it's like if Gunnar Nelson could put on that kind of one punch that could hurt him, maybe Daniel Rodriguez does something incredible here. But I think Kevin Holland is just sharper version of Kevin Holland than he used to be. I think he's just staying in the gym is good for Kevin Holland. That's where he's been at lately. And I think he's a lock for this one. Probably by decision. He should be a pretty big favorable guy here. Yeah, he's a 4-1 favorite, a 5-1 favorite. Geez. So definitely
fights are like so like the odds are so wide on him.
It's a little risky because he is a risky kind of guy, but I don't think this is the risky version of Kevin Holland that we've seen in the past. I know on a few shows in the past, I've roasted Kevin Holland. I said I never pick Kevin Holland ever again, ever in my whole life. But we're here now. It's a new day. I don't look in the past. I'm looking at who he is right now, and he's a winner right now. So let's bet the streak. Let's go Kevin Holland. And yeah, Daniel Rodriguez against Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio had a lot of moments in that fight. I thought he was going to win that fight, and then he got knocked out in the 3rd round. If he's going to get outpaced in this fight from Kevin Holland. And it's really up to Kevin Holland if he wants to finish it or not. And yeah, hopefully he does. It would be better for his career.
It would look so bad if he loses. Like, so bad. Yeah.
He could get a first-round finish. I really do think he could. It's just, I don't know if he's going to put himself in that position to do that. I don't know.
Well, you know that his game plan going into this is we got to take him down and just try to submit him.
Should be.
Even though, like, D-Rod's can sometimes kind of hang on the ground. He'll never try to take it to the ground. But, yeah, I don't know. He's got to take it. He's got to go for the sub. Co-main event. Another one I don't like. And I feel like Luna bet on Kevin Holland. Hell yeah. And we're doing
Let's
good.
go, Luna.
Asking. Yes, another weird one, bro. I don't know why it's on the main. Well, it should be like the opener of the main card. Kopylov, he's on a 2-5 win streak. He's only lost once since losing his first 2 fights in the UFC. So he's 6-1 since, or 6-1 his last 7, basically. 6-3 in the UFC overall, though. I'm really not that high on Paulo Costa. Like, I think he's fun to watch. I think he's got good personality. Like, he's fun to like watch his interviews and stuff sometimes. I feel like he's going to want to stand and bang. He is pretty good all around, but he hasn't attempted a takedown in his last 2 fights. And I don't, or maybe he's attempted, he hasn't landed one. And I don't think he's going to do that here. Even though he's got like 75% takedown accuracy, which is obviously really solid. Got 80% takedown defense. But Kopylov also has good takedown defense. But again, I think this is going to be a stand and bang. I think that Roman Kopylov is better on the ground. I also think that right now he's probably like more well-rounded. And I honestly think that Kopylov is going to win by whatever way he wants to win on Saturday. I don't know if he's just going to like destroy Paulo Costa, but I just think he's going to control. Dude.
Keep it going.
I saw the message. Anyway, I think Kopylov is just going to win whatever way he wants, whenever he wants. I don't think that Paulo Costa is going to do too much in this fight. But hopefully it's fun. I don't know.
Okay, so everybody's on Roman Kopylov. Everyone's on Daniel Zellhuber. It is casual city to me. Hearing these takes, I look in the comment section. Everyone's saying the same thing. How do you bet on Paulo Costa? How would you ever do this with Paulo Costa? He doesn't win any fights. He doesn't. Did you see that spinning head kick he landed on Robert Whittaker? Do you not think he could land that against Roman Kopylov and knock him the clean out? Like, do you remember that moment where he literally had us all on our feet, like, holy shit moment? He's in his media right now saying Hamzat DM'd his chick. He wants to call him out. He wants to climb up back the rankings. He wants that fight. He's pissed off at himself for letting these wins go. Like against Sean Strickland, it was like 190 strikes from Sean to like 160 strikes to Paulo, but Paulo lost every single round pretty much. So it's like he's just not winning the rounds. He's not and this is kind of the perfect copy of Roman Kopylov. He's going to be doing these pitter-patter shots. He's going to probably be landing a little more. But I think Paulo Costa could land a lot heavier, have the bigger moments, and hopefully with this new mindset, win these rounds. And if it goes to a decision, I see him winning. If it goes to a finish, I see him winning. Everyone's on Roman Kopylov, plus money on Costa. I think this is a sneaky little pick. It's a co-main event. If he loses here, he's cooked. He's out of the top 15. It's done. And he's gone. He's from the era where he was about to be champion against Israel Adesanya. He's fought in some of these guys. He's fought in Sean Strickland. These guys are champion fighters. Roman Kopylov fought Chris Curtis. It's not a championship fighter. I do believe in Costa. I think he's prepared himself for this specific matchup in Roman Kopylov. I think he knows, everybody knows what Roman Kopylov is going to do in this one. It's pitter-patter shots, walk him down, kind of like Sean Strickland. That's not going to be enough for this new version of Costa. Sorry for calling you a casual. Give me the underdog pick on this one. Let's go!
Yeah, you're nuts, bro. You're right. Paulo Costa has fought all these guys. He's also lost to all of them and has only beaten Luke Rockhold. in his last 5. So
Yeah.
I got Roman Kopylov. But before we go to the main
Yes.
event
Wait,
of the
let's
evening,
hop into shout out to DraftKings. Shout out to
shout out to
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Let's
Let's
hop in.
go. Come
Let's hop
on.
into
Use
a
code
little quick.
Inside Fighting.
Let's hop into a little quick ad read. Do you want to play that one real quick?
It's on.
Hey, fight fans, big announcement. UFC 318 is finally here. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the BMF belt, and there's no better way to feel the intensity than with our partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, if you're a new customer, go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up using our promo code InsideFighting, bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, no matter who you're backing in Dustin Poirier's final fight in the UFC. Stay in the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at even bigger payouts by combining multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is unavailable in your state, do not worry. You could still join in on all the fun using DraftKings Pick 6 and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers who use our promo code InsideFighting bet $5 will receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code InsideFighting only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. I love DraftKings. Let's go. Inside Fighting. Use promo code Inside Fighting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Main event. I honestly, I might only tune into this fight, low key. I don't know. No, I'm playing, but it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a really fun
Hey,
one.
that's fine. If you want to watch any of the highlights, just come tune into Cody Talks Watch Party Inside Fighting. We're doing a watch party on Saturday, so you don't even have to tune into the fights. If you want to keep up with what's going on, just tune into my live. Ask me in the chat, and I'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
Little plug.
Oh, you gotta plug away, bro. You gotta plug away. This is going to be Poirier's send off. And it's gonna be a banger. We were talking about this before we kind of got into talking about the whole card, but is it gonna be his last fight? Probably. Even if he wins. I feel like Dustin feels like one of those guys that's like really like a man of his word, and he wouldn't say it unless he like really, really like felt it inside. And I feel like he's probably been battling with that thought for a long time. And so if he came out and said, I feel like he's going to stick to it, because he's like, before he said it to the public, he probably gave like his wife the word and his family the word that he's not going to go back. He's like, once I go public, I'm not going to change my mind. And I feel like that's what he's going to stick to. It's for them, not for like the fans, you know? But this is their trilogy fight. Pretty nuts how someone could lose the first 2 fights and come in as the favorite, but it makes sense considering recent form. Dustin getting this fight for his last one, pretty sick. He's obviously like a big blemish on his resume is that, and I think he feels this, but I know a lot of fans talk about it, is that he doesn't have like a true championship, you know? He's got the interim belt, and obviously like the BMF belt is, some people don't consider it like a full title, but this would be like, he would be the BMF champion and it wouldn't be like an interim champion. So you couldn't take that away from him. So I definitely do think it means a lot for him. And we got Max Holloway. He's coming off of probably one of the craziest knockouts that we've seen in a while. And he's the second of 3 now second of 3 fan favorites that Ilia Topuria has put away pretty bad. So it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back. I don't think it's going to affect him at all, but obviously you always talk about when a fighter gets knocked out, how are they going to come back from that knockout? This is the first time we've seen Max Holloway get knocked out or knocked down in that matter. So seeing him come back from it, it's going to be interesting. Again, I don't think it's going to affect him, but it's just something to keep in mind. I don't know who to pick. I think this fight's going to be super fun to watch. I do know who to pick. I'm picking Dustin Poirier. It's a send-off in his hometown. I think it means a lot to him. I think he's going to put on a show. I think it's going to go to decision, and I think he's going to do whatever it takes to win. I think we've seen Dustin Poirier put on pretty standout performances against really high level people recently, more than we have maybe of Max Holloway. And that might be a hot take. But even though we've seen Dustin Poirier lose to those people, like the fight he had against Islam, nobody thought he even had a chance, and yeah, he got submitted, but he looked really, really good against Islam. Benoit Saint Denis, most people counted him out against Benoit Saint Denis. He goes out there and he gets the win, right? So I don't know, man. I think that Dustin's in really good form. I think in a fight like this, when you got these two kind of, it's funny how like Holloway's like they're both like not that old, but they're vets and they just have so many fights under their belt. But when you got two guys like this, kind of like OG UFC fighters, it could like flip a coin and whatever it lands on could win. I just feel like when you take everything that is happening in this fight, it's just you got to lean towards Poirier.
So I'll give you a quick stat that kind of favors your pick in Poirier there. He's never lost 2 back-to-back fights in his 15-year UFC career. He's coming off of a loss. He's never lost 2 in a row. He's an underdog in his hometown for his send-off. Pretty good for people who are picking Dustin Poirier in this fight. I do believe this is going to be his last fight. Dana White kind of confirmed it. They built this whole card around this being Dustin Poirier's last fight. He's never done this in the past for another fighter, giving them a fight in their home crowd as a send-off. So it would be pretty disrespectful almost for him to come back. And it sets a great precedent for other fighters in the future to not like overextend their careers like we've seen in Tony Ferguson, who's now fighting Salt Poppy. Imagine if Dustin Poirier fights like a Bryce Hall or something like that.
No way. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so Tony Ferguson is back fighting Salt Poppy in Misfits boxing card for an interim title. It is just unbelievable, but that's the times we're in. It's not a simulation, I promise. But Dustin Poirier, he's done after this one for sure. But to get into my breakdown of this fight, I was leaning for Dustin Poirier submission. I was like, maybe this goes to the ground. Maybe Dustin Poirier could get the guillotine finish, the send-off of send-offs. But the more I feel about this, Max Holloway is kind of reaching his prime almost. Like, if he beats Dustin here, he gets another title shot. He wins the championship. He defeats Ilia Topuria, gets the rematch fight. That fight, if he makes a few different game changes, he gets a little better, he could win against Ilia Topuria. And I'm not sure how many other people I'm like, actually curious to see Ilia fight again. I want to see him fight Patty. I want to see him fight Islam, but I also want to see him fight Max again, especially if he gets a win here. Max is going to be big. He's 155 in this fight. He's no longer ranked in featherweight. So he's a big boy now. Both these guys are going to be coming in as big boys. As I said to you before we started the show, really, I do see this one going to a decision. I don't think they're going to like try to put each other away like if it was like a BSD or somebody lower in the ranks upcoming where they would like really try to stamp themselves in that kind of performance. This one is going to be a nice send-off, a lot of touching gloves at the start of the rounds, a lot of hugging at the start of the rounds, which I hate to see, but it's going to happen. I think Max Holloway just has enough in the tank to win out and edge out the rounds. He is going to be kicking. I think he's just going to be landing more every round. And if Dustin Poirier doesn't mix up the ground game, which I originally was my read that he should, grapple, clinch control, submission attempts, that's how he wins this fight, I see. But I don't think that's going to happen. And also Dustin Poirier, he has these weird tendencies in fights to like bring his hands down, lift his shorts, and the crowd's going to be in his head for this one. I think there's a lot of exterior things going on where Max Holloway is going to be too sharp, too focused, too dialed in, and he's going to be able to pick them apart, win these rounds, and low-key have his way with them. I think Max Holloway is a favorite here for a reason. I think that Vegas is reading it kind of how I'm seeing it. Sorry, Dustin, you're a vet. You're one of the GOATs. I do see him as a Hall of Famer, one of the best non-championship fighters ever in the UFC. And their last fight together was for the interim title. And then Dustin Poirier was in the Khabib era. He fought Khabib for the title and lost that fight. So unfortunate for him. But I think Max is going to win this one, wait around, and go on next to fight for the title. Even though Ilia Topuria already beat him and should be the BMF, there shouldn't even be a belt on the line for this one. Doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't have to have any belt or significance with that kind of championship weird stuff going on. I just see Max being too sharp, too fast, too focused. So give me Max Holloway. Sorry, Dustin.
That's fair. That's fair. I could go either way. I really could. I think I'm leaning. I want Dustin to win personally. I just think it'd be sick for him to have like we always go for the story, and I think that's the better story. So we'll see what happens. But
it'll hurt seeing anybody lose this fight. It actually sucks that the UFC did this to us, but it is what it is.
It hurts less to see Holloway lose if it goes to decision.
And I think that's
it'll
what
hurt. And it'll hurt more if Dustin
fight.
Poirier loses, period. Just because it's his last fight. We're not going to get to see him get another go. Yeah.
I'm really trusting what these guys are saying in their media days, which I've done in the past, and it does me so wrong. But Max Holloway, he says he wants to play spoiler. He's pissed off that he's lost 2. He wants to get back to the title. I believe him, man. Maybe I'm a fool for believing in him, believing in Costa, believing in Michael Johnson, but I do. It might be the wreck of me this weekend, but I believe, they believe. Let's see it. I'm excited for this card.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cool. Well, as always, we go live every single Thursday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Cody goes live every single Saturday. There was little watch parties. Join him to watch UFC 318 Saturday. What time are you going to go live? Do you know yet?
We'll be live probably for the main card just because the prelims are kind of cheeks. But also stay tuned for inside picks from our reporter Mike Evans. That goes up on our page at 4 p.m. So that goes live in about 20 minutes here. If you want to hear our analysts read, our reporters read on the main event, he gives a good detailed breakdown on his reads. That's it from me. Yeah, I'll be live on Saturday, so come check that out if you want to watch the fights with me. I'll be tuned in for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, guys, and we'll see y'all next week. Decent card. We got Abu Dhabi, but we'll talk about it next week.
Take care, guys. Peace.